do on your first day in the job?
Boy, it was a busy day because there was lots of media talk to do. So there were unbelievable amount of journalists, and when you have to do it as being a native speaker, you have to be even a bit more concentrated. There to meet so many people within the club, and also of course with some coaching staff. I also met our club captain, and it was an unbelievably busy day. And to be honest, I was happy when I was allowed to sit on the sofa in the evening and get some downtime.
What's the most favourite thing about being a head coach?
The most favourite thing is to be allowed to work with a group of players. So that's quite important. So they are on this level all high quality players, and they understand what you want when you speak about football, and also when you work in tactical terms. And so it's more like it's a pleasure to be allowed to work with them, with these players on an everyday basis, but also to have this responsibility for the club. And when you have a club with this unity and this spirit and this emotion like Norwich City, where you got the feeling there's one unity at Kerr Road, then also to have this responsibility and to help in the responsible role to bring success to this club, it's also a great pleasure. And when you realize, okay, you can have such an impact in order to make the life of the people around really easier and a bit more joyful, that's great. It's a great feeling, and yeah, hopefully we can do this also with some good results in the future.
And the thing you least like about being a manager or a head coach?
When you work with a squad together, you have a group of around 25 players, but just 11 are allowed to start, and pretty often just 8 are allowed to be in to play just for 90 minutes because you have substitutes. And from this 8, probably 2 or 3 think they are playing in the wrong position, and 1 or 2 other think they are not praised enough by the coach. So you have a group of players. I would say just 1 or 2 are really overly happy, and all the others are between moody and between, okay, I want to kill the coach because I'm not involved. So to annoy these players sometimes, although you all like them and you want to put so much work into them, and you would like to start them each and every one of them because you believe in them, and then to disappoint them with telling them you're not in the starting lineup, you're not in the squad, you don't come in as a substitute, or I have to substitute you. That's quite the most difficult topic, to be honest.
In your early days, you didn't really have any desire or aim to be a manager or a head coach, but that changed. What led to that change, Daniel?
I was always interested to work a bit more on the long-term success, a bit more in the sporting director role, and I once started to work in this role, but I had also to work as a head coach, as a caretaker, because the club was in a difficult situation. And anyhow, it worked out even from the beginning. And then you realize, okay, to work with the lads on the pitch is much more fun than just to speak about money and speak about contracts. And the desire to become a coach grow more from day to day. And meanwhile, I'm fully convinced that this is exactly my fate and my destiny. And I totally enjoy in this days to be a coach.
Who gives you your inspiration? Who do you look up to? Which other managers do you look up to?
I think it's important to learn each and every day as a coach, and even when you have reached a different level, not to think, okay, right now I know everything about football and I'm a genius already, because when you stop to develop and stop to improve, then you become a dinosaurus in this business. If I have to name a coach, there was this coach, Ottmar Hitzfeld, unbelievably successful in Germany. He won for Borussia Dortmund the German title, the German Cup, the Champions League. He won for Bayern Munich the German Cup, the German title, the Champions League. And if I have to name a role model, I would go for Ottmar Hitzfeld, because I think he was a world-class coach, but he was so modest and always a gentleman, and he always wanted his players to shine, and he has had this ability that he worked together with world-class players, but to be honest, even the difficult characters had the best spell and the best time in their career when he was in charge, and he was unbelievably successful, but still also unbelievably great in terms of man management, in terms of leading a group of human beings. And if I have to name a role model, definitely Ottmar Hitzfeld.
What about sort of a managerial bestie?
I worked pretty close with Thomas Tuchel together, and we had a brilliant relationship and quite similar thoughts about football. So you're not equal. Also in several topics we had differences, but we worked pretty close together. But if I'm honest, when you work on this level, it's quite difficult to have really a bestie as a coach, because there's simply not enough time, to be honest. So, to be honest, in the Premier League level, I've got so many coach. I'm looking forward to see them, and I come along quite well. And it's always nice to see them, to have a short chat. But if I'm honest, myself, I'm quite busy. They are unbelievably busy, and it's not time to meet just for coffee and to speak about life and in football for hours and hours. So it's quite difficult. But all I can say, so when we have this managers meeting or meet them around the game days, or sometimes even there's a little telephone call or a little text message. So I come along more or less with each and every one of them quite good, and it's great to work together on this level with this guy. So, but nothing too special that I just can name just one coach.
Can you describe what sort of a manager you are in 3 words?
Oh, it's difficult to sum it up in 3 words. I would go probably for honesty, because I think it's quite important to be honest with the players when you try to work out some psychological games anyhow. So it doesn't make sense. So players want you to be honest, sometimes even to be strict. So I also don't like vanity in the dressing room. So honesty is quite important. I would also go for contents, because I like to work on the details. I like to work on the tactical approach, and I really like to work on the small things in football, because my feeling is games are always decided in small things, and for that I think it's quite important to work on the contents and not so much how you want to present the content. So that's quite important. And the third word would be bravery. I think it's quite important to be brave when you're playing football. So it's not like we want to park the bus and anyhow to put the ball on the stands anyhow. So it's more like when you play football, you have to do it on the front foot, and you have to do it with a smile on your face. That's why we once started to play football. So no one started to play football in order just to park the bus anyhow and to pray for a result. So it's more like you want to go out with your mates and have fun on the pitch and beat the other team and be there with a good performance at what you're trying to do. So these are perhaps the 3 words.
How would you like to be remembered as a manager?
So in general, it's quite important not to be too much addicted to the thoughts and the views of the public. It's more like that you have to be content when you watch in the mirror what you've done. So I would be already pleased there. For example, when Norwich fans after my time here will say, he definitely was alright and has done a decent job, and for that I would be totally happy. You become a bit different person when you work on this level. That's quite normal, but it's also important that you stick to your values, and that you're still modest enough, and that you know, okay, it's just a period when all the attention is on you, and there will be some other times in the future as well. And so I think the most important thing is that the people who work with me, perhaps even for me, they remind me, not as an unbelievable successful coach would like, if I can speak about this, but more like say, okay, he was also a great guy, and it was a pleasure to be able to spend some time with him. So would be great if I can watch back and many people would say this.